I remember standing over her and she's dead and there's blood everywhere, and I picked up something and I hit her.
You know what it was that you picked up?
Hammer.
This is the exact moment that detectives realize Joseph Roberts is anything but a witness in the disappearance of Brittany Tovar. And right now, they need to find out where she is, dead or alive.
Well, the biggest glaring question I'm sure you know I want to know is, where is she?
Okay, I can, not exact location. I can give you general spot. I waited until it was late at night and drove to where you guys have and dumped her body.
I will always be a monster.
In July 2010, 45-year-old Brittany Tovar was preparing a restraining order against her neighbor, but on the very day of her court date, she would go missing from her house in St Augustine, Florida. For days, she was not heard from by family or friends. It was at this point that a friend went to her home and found the house to be completely abandoned and her car missing. Immediately, officers were contacted and a nationwide search ensued for Brittany Tovar, and weeks later, detectives received their biggest clue: pings on Brittany's credit cards. First South Carolina, then Idaho, and the last purchase at Oregon. Using CCTV footage, this man was identified as Joseph Roberts. It just so happened that Joseph was driving Brittany's Toyota RAV4, heading west, and had even been pulled over for speeding in her car in Wyoming. If anyone knew where Brittany was and what happened to her, it would be Joseph, as he is now suspect number 1. But before cops got to him, Joseph disappeared. His trail went completely cold, and detectives were left grasping at straws. That is until 3 months later, when investigation teams received a call all the way from Seattle, 3,000 miles away. Joseph Roberts was arrested for stealing lunch meat at a deli. Immediately, detectives from Florida flew to Seattle to interview him in this footage provided to us by the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. They would slowly uncover the mystery behind the disappearance of Brittany Tovar.
Joe,
Yeah, what's
these
up?
gentlemen want to talk about your warrants out of
Okay.
Florida.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
What's going on?
George. Harrigan. Kit Brantley.
Joseph? What do you go by, Joe or
Joe.
Joseph? Chip Brantley, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Are you from here, Joe?
I lived in Seattle for a while when I was growing up, like grade school, beginning of middle school.
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually born in Wisconsin and went to high school in Indiana. So I'm
Okay,
from
so kind of all over the place. Yeah. So somewhat familiar with the area, but not thoroughly familiar, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
How long have you been in Seattle? Recently, I guess
now.
you could say.
About 4 months, I'd say, almost, maybe.
Okay. And you say you're originally from Wisconsin?
Yeah. I was born in Wisconsin. I have never spent any real time there ever since I was like 5, so I don't really remember it.
Okay. Where were you actually raised then, would you say?
Here in Indiana.
Here in Indiana?
Yeah.
All right. Where out in Indiana?
Indianapolis, little area called Broad Ripple.
Okay. Yeah. Family there still?
Yeah, my aunt lives there.
Okay. Mom and dad in the picture?
No.
No. All right. Sorry about that. I don't mean to press any bad buttons, so to speak.
Yeah, it's long, old history, you know, whatever.
Long is quite an understatement considering Joseph's troubled history. For the majority of his life in Indiana, he was a drifter, constantly looking for a roof over his head. At one point, he was sheltered by his aunt, but soon showed signs of extreme mental distress. He would have manic episodes, stop showering and cleaning for days, and use drugs rampantly. To no surprise, his aunt kicked him out and he was forced to work at gas stations. This is where he would use his charisma to get close to female coworkers, who then allowed him to live with them. But little to their knowledge, this cycle of manic episodes would repeat over and over again. After spending quite a while cycling houses like this, Joseph eventually left Indiana in the summer of 2010 because he had been running a credit card scam in one of the houses. This is the exact time frame in which Brittany went missing, and it was after her disappearance that he was spotted in Seattle. Meaning that there is a massive hole in his whereabouts between the time he left Indiana and the time in which he was arrested in Seattle. This is why it is incredibly important to fill in these gaps in the story, as they could solve the mystery of Brittany's disappearance.
Well, what brings you to Seattle?
I was looking for change. The old friend, and I don't know, just I needed change. So.
Old friend?
Yeah, old friend. I hadn't talked to in a long time. Hit me up and was. So we got to talking, and I came up to here to see her, and that was about it.
A female friend?
Mm-hmm.
It's always women that make us run all over the country, right?
Yeah, they do. They do tend to do that.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, how did you get up here?
I drove.
You drove?
Yeah.
What? Do you have a vehicle, or you borrowed somebody's vehicle, or what?
I borrowed somebody's vehicle.
Okay. And whose vehicle was that?
A girl named Brittany,
Brittany from
Florida.
Florida. What's her last name?
Tavar.
Okay. And where's that vehicle now?
And still here. I'm assuming that's what this warrant is about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Well, I figured you knew what it was about. I don't mean to beat around the bush,
no,
but
I'm assuming that's what it's about.
because obviously, I'm sure she's wanting her vehicle back. I guess is the problem.
Yeah.
Notice how the detective does not mention that Brittany is missing. Rather, he frames this line of questioning as them just wanting to know about the relationship. This is done to test Joseph's knowledge, as his responses from this point onwards will reveal whether he is innocent or if he is really involved in the disappearance of Brittany Tavar.
Well, what's your thought process on this whole issue with these charges? I mean, did she know you had the vehicle?
She knew I had the vehicle. I can understand. There was issues. And, so I don't get the $500,000 warrant. And I haven't been able to get a hold of her ever, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, what can we do to make it right? I mean,
I have no idea.
well, tell me this: who is she to you? I mean, how do you?
She was just a friend. We met in a Barnes and Noble, and she wanted to start up a business, and I was in a real rut down in Florida, and I said okay. And then she goes and buys me a computer so that we can get this business started, right? And I'm like, great, let's get it going. She lets me move into her house and start up to help her start up this company. Except the problem is that once I start getting going on this, I'm the one starting up the entire thing. And while she's helping me out a lot, it didn't work out because she didn't want to do anything at all for it. And it started,
doing all the work.
He kept it changing from, oh, I'll help you with this to I'll help you with it. And so it didn't end up working out. Long story short, I was like, this isn't working out. We got in a huge fight on a Monday, a huge argument. And it was, I don't know, just basically about all this. And I was like, look, is there any way we can work out something else? Can I? And I was like, look, I have a friend in Seattle. I'd like to get to Seattle. Can I go to Seattle? And is there any way you can help me get to Seattle? And she was like, okay, yeah, you can take my car and go to Seattle. And I was like, great, thank you, and I will pay you back. And so she let me use her car and her cell phone. And I got in the car and cell phone with the cell phone, and I took off. And then a couple of days later, and she gave me her debit card as well, so that I would have gas money, and so that I'd have gas money. And I honestly used it for a couple other things too, but food occasionally, and that was it, I think. And then anyway, so I was supposed to take it up there, go see my friend, talk to my friend. And she was gonna fly up there, pick it up, and drive it back. Kind of for her to have a vacation, because her family lives on, as far as I know, in California, and she was gonna pick it up, drive it from Seattle down the coast on the 101 or whatever that highway is, and see her family and treat it as a vacation. And I never heard from her once I got here.
Considering Joseph's story so far, there are several inconsistencies. He says that he wanted to visit a friend in Seattle, but is unable to provide an address, let alone the name of said friend. Either this friend is imaginary, or he's lying. Even if he wasn't, it makes little to no sense that he would use Brittany's car and credit cards to travel all the way to Seattle. Considering his history of manic episodes and emotional instability, he is likely the very reason Brittany is missing right now, and this is confirmed by what he says next.
So, what was the plan? How was she supposed to call you? Did you have
She-
a phone at the
I
time?
had her cell phone.
Oh, you had her cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was supposed to call you on the cell phone.
Yeah, she was supposed to call me on the cell phone. And unfortunately, the cell phone died because I forgot to grab it. When I left, I didn't have the charger with me.
Gotcha.
But, long story, I basically, and I had actually, I figured she just got, something happened and she got pissed at me, and I'd also kind of screwed her over a little bit, so because I took some money and some jewelry.
So to sum up, after Brittany and he had a heated argument, she was generous enough to give him his car, phone, and cards, and even let Joseph steal her jewelry. If this disaster of a story is not bad enough, it's about to get a whole lot worse.
Did she find out about that?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
So you don't know? She never confronted you about that?
I haven't talked to her about it since I had
How much money did you take?
a couple $100.
All right. So it was you said it was a Monday when you left?
Yeah.
Like how long ago? Like you remember what Monday?
Well, no, it was
What
a
month are we
Tuesday when I
talking
left.
about?
It was a Monday when we were fighting. It was like Tuesday night. I cut out. No, I have no idea what the date was.
You remember the month? We're in October, so
Yeah, I'm trying to count back. October. August or July, maybe.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
so
no,
you
it would have been June, July, August.
all
Has
right.
to be July, I think, or maybe early August.
So
I
if
can't
you
remember.
leave, so when you left, you just drove straight to Seattle. I mean, did you stay anywhere? Did you stop anywhere? I mean, did you talk to anybody? Did you go to anybody else's house and hang out, or?
No, I drove. Well, I basically drove through. I went up to Indiana for a second because I was going to surprise my mom or my aunt and say hey and try to have dinner with her and stuff like that. And she wasn't there, so I just kept going.
Did you call her?
No, I did not. I was literally. I just.
So it would have been a big surprise.
It
Then,
would,
huh?
yeah, no, I was really gonna literally just show up at the front door and say, "Hey, surprise!" And I showed up at the front door, but she wasn't in town, so it wasn't. Actually, I think I did call her at one point, but she didn't answer.
Gotcha.
So,
Well, where's
I'm
the
not sure.
first place that you had to stop for gas? You remember where the first place was?
No.
Remember
No.
what state you were in?
Well, it probably would have been North Carolina, I think.
Okay. How many cards did she provide you with? You said
Just
she let you use a
one.
debit card or something?
Credit card and debit card.
Well, you said just one.
Well,
So which? What
I
is
was
it?
only supposed to use the credit card actually.
You were only supposed to use a credit card?
Yeah.
So why'd she let you have the debit card then?
I haven't. Well, she didn't. That was kind of one of the things that I didn't even realize I had taken it until after I'd left.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So she obviously would have been upset had she known you had both, which she probably is upset.
Everything that Joseph says is a probably, maybe, or likely, which makes him all the more suspicious. He has nothing to back up what he's saying, and by this point, he definitely seems to be the reason behind Brittany's disappearance. However, he is not willing to give up his secrets so easily, because what he does next brings this interview to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
I was hoping that maybe you could shed some light on maybe there's something more to the story than just that. I don't know. I mean, is there something else you stole from her that is more important than a car? I mean,
No, as far as I know, just the car and the jewelry and the cards.
right. But one of them, you said she let you use.
Yeah.
She let you use one of them, but she didn't know about the other one, right?
I think I should probably get a lawyer.
You think you probably should?
Yeah, I think I need to talk to a lawyer because I don't know where this is going. Obviously, something you guys aren't telling me. And yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but
Okay. Well, can I talk to a lawyer? I mean,
absolutely
is that,
can. That's
all
your right.
Awesome.
You're a smart guy, and you know I'm not going to ask you any more questions about the case. But I do want to tell you, your family's very worried about you, and they do want to talk to you. And you and I know that there's much more to this. And we were here to give you the opportunity to tell us what really happened. Because you and I both know that there's a lot more that happened. And we already pretty much know what happened. A lot of times, the reason we exist in investigations is to get the other side of the story. So that if this was a simple mistake or somebody, acted out in rage because somebody else did something wrong in self-defense, so to speak, then that's a totally different story than somebody acting out because they wanted to act out, if you understand what I'm saying. There's a difference between somebody that meant to do something and somebody that didn't mean to do something. That's all I'm saying. So just keep in mind that in order for us to talk again, you've got to ask to talk to me.
Don't worry, the video doesn't end here, even if Joseph asked for a lawyer. Strangely enough, he changes his mind within minutes as he asks detectives to return and makes two incredibly strange demands this time.
I'll talk to you. I have a couple of requests.
Okay.
First, my nerves are shot.
Mm-hmm.
I want a cigarette really badly. Is that something you can make happen?
Let me check and see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right, request number 1. What else?
I don't
Don't ask for like a helicopter and stuff like that.
That was exactly what I was gonna ask for. I don't know how much control you have over it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not gonna survive in anything that's maximum security or any of that crap. I need,
What do you mean?
like if I have to go to jail, I need somebody on my side that's gonna be saying, well, put him in.
Right. You don't need to be in some isolation and lockdown and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I got you.
All right.
That's right.
What else? Is that it or something else on your mind?
I don't think you guys have control over anything else. I mean, I don't know.
If Joseph is already discussing what his life in prison is going to look like and bargaining with officers, he most definitely has something to give in return. A full confession of what happened between him and Brittany. A confession that would answer where Brittany Tavar disappeared to, and most importantly, if she is even alive.
Well, obviously, I can't make promises.
I know.
But I mean, you're intelligent. You know how the game is played. Obviously, cooperation means a lot when someone thinks about whether somebody's a monster or whether there's somebody that made a mistake.
Right.
And simply put, that's what it is.
Well, and I'll tell you this: I made a huge mistake. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. I don't even really remember it. I freaked out, and I ran. I was gonna leave the country. I was gonna jet, and I got here, and I decided I'd stop and sit here for a second and decide what to do. And to be honest, I was gonna turn myself in here about a month. I kind of happened a little early, but because
Well, we all make mistakes in life. All of us do. I've made my share. George has made his share. And hey, some mistakes
Yeah,
are a little
but-
bigger than others. but I mean,
We're human beings, is what he's trying to say. Remember that. At the end of the day,
Right.
we're all human beings. We're all the
Right.
same.
Right,
And-
but yeah.
what actually occurred that
I don't honestly know. I know I was extremely angry. I know I was really upset. I knew that my gut was telling me to leave because I was so upset with how things were going and with just the way I was being treated and or the way I was perceived being. Anyway,
listen, we know Brittany wasn't any
She wasn't an angel. We know that.
we know that.
okay.
So trust me, we're very aware of her side of this.
I don't know. Tuesday night we got in an argument basically, and I was pissed. So, and she wouldn't shut up about the stupid court case that she had to go to, and I'm talking when she wouldn't shut up about it. She would not.
She was obsessed with it.
Obsessed with it to the point where that's all she would ever talk about.
That was her life.
Exactly.
Brittany and her neighbor LaDawn had been caught up in a lawsuit, which is what the detective refers to here. Allegedly, Brittany and LaDawn had gotten into a physical altercation after Brittany began dating one of LaDawn's friends. Over the course of a few months, the aggression worsened and Brittany eventually filed a restraining order against LaDawn.
And she wanted me to make these videos for her evidence so that she could get this restraining order. And I did that. I did it a number of times. And that night she came, and I was supposed to go with her the next day to court. And that night she came to me again and said, "Hey, I need you to do these videos up for me again and make me 2 DVDs. I was like, okay. We got in an argument about something else. I don't really remember anymore exactly the details of it. But long story short, I was pissed, but I said, all right, I'll make you the DVDs. She was pissed. She was like, I don't want you to come with me tomorrow. And I was like, fine, great. And, I went in my room and I watched whatever and I did whatever and I stayed up late. But I made the DVDs and I left them out on the counter. Well, actually, I left one out on the counter. And I left both of them out on the counter. Anyway, I went to sleep, and I remember waking up, and it must have been early. And I remember waking up and hearing her go off about something, and I don't really remember much after that. And then I remember standing over her and she's dead and there's blood everywhere and
We'll take a deep breath for a minute and think about the part that you're leaving out. Like how she ended up on the floor with blood all over her. I mean, how did that happen?
honestly, guys, I don't really remember. I don't know. I remember waking up and hearing her go off about no names on the DVDs, and I came out and I was yelling at her and calling her an ungrateful bitch, and then I picked up something and I hit her.
Do you know what it was that you picked up?
Hammer, I think.
How many times did you hit her?
I don't know, too many.
Did she run?
I don't remember.
Well, you're starting to remember. You're remembering a lot.
Just take your time. It's gonna be difficult, to remember because your mind wants to block it out, and you just have to kind of try to concentrate and take your time and think about it. Okay.
Are you sure that it was a hammer?
Yeah.
How many times do you think you hit her with it? More than once?
Yeah,
More than 3 times?
probably like 5, maybe. I don't know.
Where, in the head, body?
Head.
Was she able to run at all? Did she get outside at some point?
No,
Okay.
no. She just.
So after that happens and you said all of a sudden you're standing there and she's on the floor and she's got blood all over her.
Yeah, there's. I know there's a piece missing. I don't know what happened, man. I honestly don't, because there was blood everywhere.
Although detectives now know that this missing person case has turned into a homicide investigation, there is one massive question they have. Where is the body of Brittany Tavar, and how did Joseph dispose of it?
Well, the biggest glaring question I'm sure you know I want to know is, where is she?
Okay, I can, not exact location. I can give you general spot.
That's a start.
All right, you know where you have a piece of paper and a pencil?
Yeah.
That would make life easy. All right, this is 312. I haven't been there in a little while, so.
All right.
This is that SR 217, I think.
207?
207, something like
The
that.
one where the St Augustine record's at?
Yeah, there's like the records right
Yeah.
here, and the
Apartment complex and a kangaroo store.
kangaroos sitting right here, and apartment
Mhm.
complex is right there. Okay. You go up this road, and there was a sign. I mean, there's basically here's the kangaroo, and then there's like back here there's a road that runs here, but they're like dirt roads or something, right?
Okay.
And there's another one. There's
Yeah.
another dirt road, and then okay, the dirt road you want is the one that has this arrow in front of it, and it actually has a left-hand turn lane, but it doesn't have. There's nothing there. It's all it is a dirt road that goes back
I know
into
exactly
the thing.
what you're talking about. It's before. Do you know where?
It's
It's before Lightsey Road, right? Where the stoplight's at.
Actually, I'm not sure if it's before or after. I think it is before it,
Which-
but it's after McDonald's. I know
Which
that
side
much.
are we at right here? Is that kangaroo on this side?
Yeah,
I
sorry,
know
this is
exactly
kangaroo.
what he's talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
And that you pass the movie theater. The movie theater is on the left. The new movie theater. You pass it, and then it's the first road on the left.
Yeah.
How
anyway,
far down?
it's probably 5 or 6. I want to say, not feet, but maybe a football field, I guess, would be the best.
100 yards.
100 yards, something like that.
So
maybe
you-
150.
So you turn onto that dirt road. You drive down about a football field, left or right.
Left, and about 10 to 15 feet in, there's a little hill. There's a hill, and basically you've got the woods, or here's the road over here, and there's a bunch of trees and crap, and then there's
Okay.
a hill here, and then there's like a little thing, and she's like right there.
Now, is she buried or just tossed out there?
She's semi-buried. I couldn't get the shovel in, so it just kind of, no, not really. I don't.
She's just kind of laid out there.
She's wrapped up in
What?
blankets and some trash bags.
Okay.
There's
Is she all together?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a welding place over here. It's called like Stakes Welding or something like that.
That road he's talking about goes back to the Usina pits.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very familiar with it.
There's a bunch of homeless guys that
Now,
say
when you
to the
say you
left of
take a
it.
left,
Yeah.
you take a left and go down this road. It's about 100 yards, and then it's to your left.
100 yards and to your left,
Okay.
and
And then in how far deep into off the roadway?
like 10, 15 feet. 15
So not far at
feet.
all?
It's really not
So you
far.
didn't turn the car
I
under
didn't
there.
turn-
You had to
I
stop
parked
and get
the
her
car
out.
and just dragged her out. And
Now, was that the same night that it happened? You took her out there?
Yeah, it happened in the morning, and I think I did that at night. That night.
Okay. Because what I'm gonna do is I want to get somebody over there real quick, obviously, because I don't want someone else coming upon that. The sooner I get somebody over there, the better. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you telling me that. That's why I jumped to that real fast, because if you can tell me where she's at, I need to get somebody over there to recover her, if you know what I mean. Listen, we told you in the beginning, you're a human being. People make mistakes, Joe.
Yeah, not ones that cost them their life, you know. And somebody else's too. Sorry. Just give me a second.
I got you. You take a second. Can you step out for just a second?
Alright. Okay, I'll talk to him unless.
Yeah, you can hang out one for me.
Alright. Listen, at least we know you're human. You got emotions, and you're showing a little remorse about what you did, which, it's a
Dude, I haven't
tough.
slept in like freaking months. I
Thinking
don't
about it?
even-
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's because it probably goes over in your mind all the time, doesn't it? What at the point, and I know this is tough for you, but at the point that she was laying on the floor, you had to make some decisions on
What to do?
what to do. So what did you do?
My
with-
main reason for not immediately going to the police was I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in jail. That's why I ran, because I was a coward, and I didn't want to face it.
Okay.
So that's why.
And that's understandable. People get scared. I mean, that's a tough situation to be in, and people don't know what to do. And listen, I'm with you. I believe every word you say. It was, you lost control, and it was rage, and
It doesn't
you don't
make
even
any
remember.
sense. I mean, let's just put it this way: if I look at it rationally, there's no freaking point in it. The one I've never hurt anybody else in my life. Okay, I've avoided fights for the exact same reason that I do know I have a temper, and that I have a tendency to lose control a little bit when I have,
Right.
But I have so many people who screwed me over in my life, and Brittany might have been a little bit loopy every once in a while, or whatever, but she never did anything wrong by me. She was trying to help me. She was probably one of the only. Basically, I killed the one person that was trying to
help you out. Yeah, I understand. And I understand how Brittany reached out to a lot of people and tried to help a lot of people out.
She didn't deserve this.
And
She didn't. I don't know.
but y'all's personalities conflicted, basically, and that's probably what brought out the anger. Because she liked things a certain way, and liked an order a certain way, and you were to a point like you liked to do your thing, and she was just over demanding.
Yeah, but that's not a reason to kill somebody.
No, it's not. But it helps us understand what happened. So, I mean, when you had to make these decisions, you had to say, okay, what am I going to do next? So, what did you do
What did I do?
next after she's laying on the floor, and
I covered her up with a blanket for a while, and I kind of freaked out and went and bought a pack of cigarettes, and then sat on the back porch and chain smoked about a pack of cigarettes until I had decided what I was going to do, and then I did it. And which was basically clean up all the blood, pour bleach everywhere, and and basically my goal was to buy time. I didn't think I would be getting away with anything. I just thought I would be buying time.
With all of this information, it is easy to get a cohesive timeline of what happened between Brittany and Joseph. Sometime in July, Joseph met Brittany after getting kicked out of his friend's house, not for the first time either. This is where Brittany hired him for his computer skills, hoping that he could help her with the restraining order and build a business with him. But this is when the relationship went sour, as Joseph got into frequent arguments with Brittany. And just like the many times prior, he began having manic episodes. This time around, in a fit of pure rage, he murdered Brittany. If this wasn't brutal enough, what he did after the murder is all the more tragic to hear about.
She's on the floor. You got a blanket. You covered her up.
Mm-hmm.
And you smoked some cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And you decided.
And some weed.
Okay. At what point did you decide that you needed to move her, and how did you move her?
I don't know. At some point I decided I needed to move her because obviously dead person sitting in the living room is not usually a good sign. If anybody would come up, I wrapped her up in some sheets and took her into the bathroom and put her in the bathroom, and then I came back out and
Now, which bathroom was that?
her bathroom.
And that's the one near the pool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I came back out and I started cleaning up a bunch of blood and stuff, and like I said, I wiped everything down and
Now, how did you
bleached
know?
it all.
How did you know to use bleach? Or is that was just what was available?
What was available, but also because that's what they tell you on TV shows and all that crap, is that bleach kills basically everything.
Okay. And what did you do with all the rags and towels that you cleaned
Threw
up?
them away.
Where at?
Dumpster.
The dumpster. Do you know which one?
I have no idea,
Okay.
dude. There was
Just
about, in total, after everything was said and done, there was probably 5 or 6 trash bags I threw in the dumpster.
Okay. So once you got everything cleaned up, you had to make it. At what point did you decide to move her out of the house, and how did you move her out of the house?
Well, at first I didn't decide to move her out of the house. I didn't know what I was going to do with her. I eventually thought about putting her in the attic and tried to, and I couldn't. And the reason I didn't want to put her in the car was because she didn't think she would fit. At that point, rigor mortis had set in.
Rigor mortis is the stiffening of a dead body as the muscles undergo a series of biochemical changes. If Brittany's body began undergoing this process, anywhere between 2 to 6 hours would have passed after she was murdered. So what Joseph is explaining likely occurred within the same day.
So anyway, long story short, it didn't work out trying to get her up into the attic, and I ended up putting her in the car, in the backseat.
Okay. So, and not the hatchback part, but in the back seat. Okay. And was the vehicle, was it pulled in or was it backed in when you loaded her up in there?
Pulled in.
Pulled in. Okay. Is that where she normally parked it? She pulled it in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you put her in the back, and then what?
I waited until it was late at night and drove to where you guys have and then dumped her body.
Okay. Then after that, you came back to the house?
Yeah. Or, yeah, I came back to the house. I was incredibly tired and I slept for a little bit and then I left.
Okay.
And I packed the house with, I also, that's the other thing I did. Originally, I was gonna wipe down everything so you guys wouldn't even have prints on me, but I decided that was pointless, and I just basically went through some stuff because I didn't know what my plan was at that time. At that time, I was thinking I would leave the country or go up into Canada or something, but I needed cash, so I went through her jewelry and took some jewelry. You'll find if that car is still there assuming they haven't towed it by the library, you'll find some jewelry in there. And that was pretty much it.
Are you telling us the truth about the RAV4 being at the library?
Yeah.
Did you really lock the keys in the car?
I really
or was that
locked
on
the keys.
purpose? Did you lock them in there on purpose just to leave it there?
It was an accident on purpose. I was already going to leave it.
Okay.
But
Just happened sooner than you planned, I guess.
happened about a day sooner than I planned. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
But it was definitely the
the
library.
Toyota RAV4 was at the northeast. I mean, it's a library right up here. It's off of 35th and 78th, or 68th.
Okay.
35th and 68th.
Okay. So you decided to leave the next morning. Now, at that point, you had to make a decision about what to do with the dogs.
The reason that the detective asks about the dogs is because they were a crucial part of the investigation. Brittany was known to have an incredibly deep attachment to them, and they were almost always at her home in St. Augustine. However, while she was missing, both dogs had been found roaming the streets without collars in the streets of Columbia, South Carolina, almost 300 miles away. This is why it is crucial to know whether Joseph was involved in their disappearance, as it will only solidify his status as a killer.
Right, the dogs. I decided to take them with me at first, mainly because, like I said, I was just trying to buy time at this point. And I knew if I left the dogs there, they'd make a lot of noise and cause problems, and so I took
Attract attention and stuff, and
Exactly.
kind of hinder your time. Okay. So you decided to take them with you.
Yeah.
And at one point, you got rid of the dogs. Then, do you remember where you got rid of the dogs at?
No, well, it was just a park somewhere. I just drove in and, let them out. Like, I was letting them go to the bathroom and let them wander a little bit too far, and then I got in the car and drove back and drove off.
Okay.
I think
Did
it
you
was
take
in
the
West
co-
Virginia.
Did you take the collars off of them?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Was that so they couldn't? I mean, why did you do that?
So I guess so they couldn't identify them right away.
Okay.
I mean, again, all of this was, at this point, me thinking, how do I buy myself as much time as possible?
Let me get off track. Just out of curiosity, have you been following this the whole time on the computer?
I followed it a little bit when it first, and then I couldn't. I didn't want to mess with it, so I just stopped.
How much do you know about the dogs? Did you follow us recovering the dogs?
I do know you guys recovered the
Yeah.
dogs. So, yeah.
Because, so, I guess that's, you got anything else?
Well, what I thought was unusual about your pattern, I guess, across the country was you used the Discover card in the Carolinas, but then there's no activity with the credit cards across the Midwest until you get to Ontario, Oregon, and Idaho.
Yeah,
How did you support your trip?
I had cash.
So you had cash too?
I had cash too. I originally wasn't. I mean, the only time I was going to use the credit cards was when I did originally. The only reason I started using the credit cards again was because I got pulled over by those cops.
Right.
And I figured it was at that point, there was no point,
Right.
So.
Did you truly come straight to Seattle, or did you stop anywhere else and stay in any campgrounds, or?
I seriously came straight to Seattle.
Okay.
I didn't do anything else. I did, like I said earlier, I did actually go through Indiana, but I didn't end up stopping there.
So we kept getting sightings all over Oregon.
Yeah, for some reason, there's somebody running around that looks like you in Oregon.
There's a lot of people that look like me, unfortunately.
So we thought for sure you were in Oregon, but
Did you follow any of the news media with us coming up here?
I mean, did you know who we were when we came in the room? Did you know
No,
where
I
we
had
from?
no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we came here a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking.
I did know. I did remember reading something about manhunt and you guys thinking I had crossed the border or gone into Oregon or something like that. But that was about it. I had basically about a month ago. I decided that because all I'd been doing was staying in Seattle here. I don't even have any friends here or anything. I just was for a while sleeping in the car and then basically staying out.
It is nothing short of a miracle that he did not find someone else to crash with in Seattle. Considering both his past and the fact that he was fresh off of a murder, this could have ended in another disaster.
Is there anything you haven't told us that you think we need to know about this incident or anything else?
I don't think so. I think I've gone over everything you guys already knew about the
This
Walmart purchases and yeah.
The shovel that you buried her with, where is that at? Is that at the house?
Ooh, I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, I would assume it's probably at the house.
Okay.
Like you said, I don't know if it was really I mean, it was pitch black dark, and I was trying to hurry because I didn't want to get caught and all this, so it was not a decent burial, not anything she deserved.
I mean, do you think it's going to be obvious to us, or is she covered up pretty good?
She's covered up, but I don't think it's covered up. I mean, it's been a minute. But she has trash bags, so over her, just basically wrapped around for, I guess I did, for smell and for just.
Is it wrapped around her whole body, the trash bags?
Yeah.
Because that'll help preserve.
Yeah, I figured as much. Anyway, there's three of them, two of them, and then one of them's in the middle that was cut.
And then the blanket's over her?
No, blankets were under
Blanket
her.
first and then, okay, I got you. All right. Is there anything more about the actual event that you haven't told us? I mean, was it simply an act of rage and you used a hammer, or was there a different weapon? Was there more violence involved?
All I know is there was a hammer and there was a ridiculous amount of blood afterwards, and that she was still alive for a little while, and that her throat was cut as well, and I don't know how that happened.
Now, you're saying that because you're having an actual memory of seeing it cut?
I don't know how that happened. I honestly don't.
Well, I think you know how it happened. You just,
Right.
You just don't
I mean,
remember it happening.
I don't remember doing it.
All right, I got you.
know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Obviously, is when we go out there, if there's anything left that's still intact, I just want to make sure you told me everything. I don't want to find something that you didn't tell me about. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's everything I know. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, was her throat cut before the hammer or after the hammer?
I don't know. I would assume after, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, think about it for a minute. I mean, I'm trying to help you remember.
Right. And I'm saying I think it was. I don't know. I remember.
Well, you said she was still alive for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So did you cut her
was
throat
after.
because she was still alive for a few minutes?
No. I mean. It was after, but before, I don't know. I honestly don't know, man. I really
right.
don't.
Do you know why you cut her throat?
No. I mean,
Where'd you get the knife from? Was it like a knife you had or a kitchen knife, or what was it?
had to be the kitchen knife, probably. I don't have any knives. I never had any knives.
Was she on the ground when you cut her throat, or standing up?
No clue. I it was after she had to be on the ground. Yeah. I don't think I would, I don't think it's gonna matter, man. I'm a monster no matter how you look at it.
Is there anything else that was done other than the knife and the hammer?
No.
Now, do you know what you did with the knife and the hammer? You know what happened to those two items?
The hammer got thrown away.
In the dumpster with the other stuff?
Yeah. I can tell you which dumpster. On the hammer, I think, which is that actually it's the apartment complexes, the one with the trash compactor, but I very much doubt you're gonna have any luck getting it.
Right.
Because
Which apartment complex are you talking about?
the one right next to the kangaroo right there.
The one that's closer to 207, or you got to go back down the road a ways past the kangaroo, I guess you could say.
312 is right here, and like if you
Go straight across.
you go straight across and take a right, I think it is. Or,
Yeah.
Those right there.
Whispering Pines or Whispering Woods.
Yeah, I
whatever.
think that's what it is.
What was when you and Brittany met? I know you guys met in the Barnes and Noble, and it was kind of a business relationship. Did you guys ever become intimate or anything like that, or
No.
was just strictly like she's
It was
helping you out?
It was strictly supposed to be business. It was strictly that was it.
Okay, and building web pages, right, or something.
Basically, she wanted to open up online stores.
Okay.
And I told her I could help her do that, and I could. And then it kept evolving, and it became, well, let's get an actual business going. And I was like, okay, well, I'd love to do that. It's great. It's exactly what I want to do. I want to own my own business.
Right, because you're good at computers.
Yeah.
Right.
I try to be good at computers. And anyway, so I was like, it's going to take a while if that's what you want. Because if she just had wanted the e-commerce site, I told her I could put that up in a week. It's not hard at all. I just need the workspace and something to do the work on. Because the computer I have, that laptop that you guys now have, is not really, it's not good enough. It's not going to be able to do half the things I need it to do web design.
Right.
Okay, so she bought the computer.
Joseph had a chance to turn his life around. A smart business partner who was willing to buy him a computer, a bed to sleep on, warm food to eat, and a way to earn some money. Yet he blew it all just because he couldn't control himself. And no matter how heartbreaking this story is, hearing details of how he hid the body only makes it all the more tragic.
We agreed that I'd start doing it and that she would help out with the sales side once it was up and also help write the articles. And then when I came to her and said, well, look, these are the articles, I started sending her articles I need to write, have her write, and she kept coming up with excuses. Long story short, and you guys don't want to hear this, but basically it wasn't working. It was, just things like you said, I guess we had a clash of personalities. And if I had trust my instincts, I would have left the second day I was there. But I was in such a bad spot that I just felt I can put up with it. It doesn't matter, because I could tell that she was a little, and I hate to say this, she was a little bit, not, I want to say, she was not. She was a very nice lady. She was very kind, and she did nothing but try to help me, but she was definitely a little nuts. And I knew that it was going to cause problems, not to the extent and not to what happened. I didn't know that was going to happen. But anyway, I remember the second day I was there thinking I should leave. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
But then saying, well, I
You
don't
didn't have any
anywhere
place
to
else
go,
to-
and this is better than nothing, and you got to try. You can't give up without trying, and so I stayed.
Did she tell you why that she wanted to start building and opening these stores?
She wanted to become a millionaire and make money, so.
Okay.
So her brother was a millionaire, and she thought that she should be one too, and that, so on and so forth.
Shortly after this, the detectives take a break and end the questioning. But they do come back to confirm more details about Brittany's murder, which Joseph very willingly gives. This is where we see a small glimpse of one of his episodes as he begins mumbling to himself.
Hey, when's the absolute last time you saw the RAV4 in the parking lot of that library?
A month ago, I think.
A month ago?
Yeah, it's been a while.
You
So
sure
it
it's
might have been
you
towed.
sure it's the library parking lot?
Well, not in the parking lot.
Mhm.
The library's like, here's 35th, here's 68th. The car was parked right here. I know there's a guy that comes around. Like, I kept thinking you guys would start looking for me here because you'd find that car first, and I thought you'd find it sooner or by now, because usually there was a guy that I noticed coming around putting red stickers on cars, which I assumed meant they needed to be towed. If that's the case, it's been towed. But
Right. Did
I
you
would
see
assume
him?
if it got towed too, or if
Right,
Kai,
you would think so, yeah, but you never know. You never know.
So-
One digit off and it screws things up if somebody makes a mistake. But did you see a red tag on it?
I have not seen a red tag on it.
Okay,
ever
but a
since
month
I walked
ago
by.
though was the last time.
A month ago it was there, yeah.
Okay. All right, stand by.
I will always be a monster.
25 years to life.
Joseph is indeed a monster, one that has absolutely no remorse for his own actions.
Hey, Joe, we're gonna take you back to the jail. You wanna take those cards with you?
Yeah.
Just put them in your shirt pocket. Turn around.
Don't put them on Facebook or anything on these cards.
Oh, actually,
Try not to.
We still gonna get you a cigarette?
yeah.
Yeah, we're still getting you a cigarette.
Hold on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let
Yeah.
me take this out. So you can smoke outside. Grab the garbage there, we'll throw it in the garbage can. Cool. Right here.
Once his trial began, there were fears that Joseph would use his mental instability to plead insanity. However, these fears were misplaced, as in 2014, Joseph Roberts pled guilty to second-degree murder.
On or between July 6, 2010 and July 11, 2010 here in St. Johns County, Mr. Roberts was staying at Brittany Tavar's residence. An argument ensued when they were there. Mr. Roberts picked up a hammer and with multiple hits to her head, caused multiple trauma to her head, and killed her in between those two. Those date ranges July 6 through July 11, 2010.
Okay, Mr. Roberts, for purposes of this plea, do you have any objections to that proffer?
No.
Okay, fine. Now, do you still believe your plea of no contest to this the charge?
I think it was just guilty, Judge.
I'm sorry, you pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in this case, case number CF 10-1689, and your plea of guilty to battery in a jail is in your best interest.
Yes.
Okay, now that battery in a jail charge does have a 5-year maximum prison sentence, which you've agreed to as part of the plea agreement.
Oh, I did not know that, sir.
Okay, but do you have any questions about that? That's going to be
Typically
concurrent, it's still going to be
mandatory.
concurrent with the other.
Does that mean I don't get any gain time during that time?
No, you did.
No, you would still get your game time. I'm just pointing out that it is a 5-year penalty.
Okay, that's fine.
And it would be run concurrent. And you will be getting credit for that as well for your jail document. I just want to make sure I went over that with you.
I forgot to give you the facts of that, Judge. Do you mind if I do that?
That's what I want you to do.
Yes, sir. I apologize.
Okay.
On September 23rd, 2012, in St. Johns County, Mr. Roberts touched or struck Mr. Richard Edsel against his will while they were in the St. Johns County Jail.
All right, and again, Mr. Roberts, for purposes of plea, do you have any objection to that comment?
No.
Now, has anyone used any force, threats, pressure, or intimidation to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Okay. Other than the plea agreement that was announced to me, has anybody made you any promises?
No.
Okay. And you still believe this plea is in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions at all about what's happened so far?
No, sir.
Okay. And did you have a chance to look at the score sheet that was prepared?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Roberts, I do find you alert and intelligent. You have understood the nature and the consequences of entering a plea of guilty in both of these cases. And there's a factual basis to sustain your plea. And so I'll accept it if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'll accept your plea of guilty in both.
Consequently, Joseph Roberts was sentenced to 30 years behind bars.